Surely anyone who knows Japan has heard the name, Land of the Rising Sun. Many people wonder why Japan has this name. Is this the first country where the sun rises in the world? Why is it called that? Hello everyone, to today's story, the story of Japan. The name Japan means, root of the sun, and thus is understood as, land of the rising sun. Japan is also known as the land of cherry blossoms, because this flower blooms all over Japan from north to south, or, the land of chrysanthemums, because the 16-petal chrysanthemum resembles the shining sun. The mat is a symbol of royalty and is the current national emblem of Japan. Or Japanese also known as fu tang, a type of mulberry tree. According to ancient Eastern legend, there is a hollow mulberry tree called fu tang or kong tang, where the sun god rested before riding a train to travel across the sky from east to west, so fu tang has a literary meaning. Only where the sun rises. In Chinese, Japan is called Nihon or Nippon. The two Chinese characters combined also mean, origin of the sun. The national flag of Japan is a flag designed in a rectangular shape, with a large red circle in the center with a surrounding white background. The meaning of the Japanese flag can be understood through the image of the Japanese flag. Japanese flags in the past and today all have a red circle, symbolizing the sun, because Japan is located in the east of Asia, from the rising sun. The white background of the Japanese flag symbolizes the honesty and integrity of the Japanese people. The Japanese flag is designed in a 2:3 ratio, previously 7:10, meaning the red circle occupies the middle 3/5 of the flag. Japan is located in East Asia, in the western part of the Pacific Ocean, made up of 4 large archipelagos: Kuril, Japanese Archipelago, Ryukyu and Izu Ogasawara. This is an island nation that is completely not contiguous with the country. Any country or territory on land, surrounded by seas. Countries neighboring Japan are Russia, North Korea, South Korea, China, Taiwan. Further south are the Philippines and the Northern Mariana Islands. Highest place in Japan, Mount Fuji, 3,776 meters high. Japan's land area is 377,906.97 square kilometers. Territorial sea is 3,091 square kilometers. Japan has an exclusive economic zone with a nominal border of 200 nautical miles from the coast, with a total length of Japan's coastline of 33,889 kilometers. With 70% to 80% of the area being mountains, many of them are volcanoes. Currently there are more than 186 active volcanoes. Japan's geographical position makes it one of the countries with the most natural disasters in the world. The two most serious threats are earthquakes and tsunamis. Every year Japan suffers 7,500 mild earthquakes, with up to 150 in Tokyo alone. With its special terrain, Japan is a country with many waterfalls, rivers, streams, lakes, and especially there are many hot springs created for relaxation and treatment. About climate: with the territory spanning 25 degrees of latitude, Japan's climate is also complex and divided into regions. However, Japan's climate will also be divided into 4 distinct seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter. Spring starts from March to the end of April and May, when the average temperature is 12 degrees Celsius in Sapporo, 18.4 degrees Celsius in Tokyo and 19.2 degrees Celsius in Osaka. Summer. Rain will appear in early June from the south and west of Japan, then gradually move north towards the end of the month. The average temperature in Tokyo is 26.7 degrees and 28 degrees in Osaka, with hot days and muggy nights. However, around the end of August in Sapporo, Sendai and Tokyo all have a lot of rain. Autumn. Shurin rain creates a short transitional season in late autumn. The weather is cool and very pleasant. Winter, December to February, has heavy snowfall from Hokkaido to central Honshu. The average monthly temperature in winter in Asahikawa is -8.5 degrees Celsius and is the city that holds the record for the lowest temperature in Japan, -41 degrees. Economically, Japan is a developed free market economy. Japan is the world's 3rd largest economy by nominal GDP and 4th largest by purchasing power parity until 2023, when it will be overtaken by Germany. In addition, Japan is the 2nd largest economy among developed countries. Japan is a member of the G7 and G20. According to the International Monetary Fund, the country's GDP per capita at purchasing power parity (PPP) reached $41,637 2020. Japan leads the world in robotics. This is the country that owns more than half of the world's robots for the manufacturing industry. Japan invented QRIO, ASIMO and AIBO. Japan is also the largest automobile manufacturer and is home to 6 of the 15 largest global automakers as well as 7 of the world's 20 largest semiconductor manufacturers. Japan has very bright plans in space exploration, including plans to build a lunar station by 2030. The literacy rate in Japan is almost 100%. Education in Japan is very competitive, especially in university entrance exams, typically the entrance exams of 2 high-ranking universities, Tokyo and Kyoto. Japan's unemployment rate is less than 4%. Japan has awarded 15 Nobel Prizes, in chemistry, medicine and physics, 3 Fields Medals and a Gauss Prize winner. Japan even has beer vending machines. Japan produces about 60% of the world's animation programs. There are nearly 130 animation dubbing schools across the country. This country has the shortest escalator in the world with only 5 steps. This escalator is located in the basement of the Archives Department in Kawasaki. The Japanese produce and apply the most robots in the world. Japanese technology is favored worldwide because of its sustainable reputation. The Japanese consider technological invention as their criterion. About culture, sumo is a traditional sport of the land of the rising sun. Geisha means artistic performers, and the first geisha in Japan were actually men. Blowing your nose in public is considered rude. Shaving your head is a form of saying sorry in Japan. Japan is the country with the second lowest murder rate in the world, but is home to an extremely spooky suicide forest called Aokigahara. According to tradition, young sumo wrestlers have to wash the old ones. Paleolithic cultures from around 3000 BC are believed to have been the first inhabitants of Japan. When coming to Japan, if you do not use a mask on the street, Japanese people will frown and think you are an impolite person and feel uncomfortable and do not want to come into close contact with you, so using a mask is quite important. In Japan, Japan prohibits talking on the phone on trains and buses. Sitting on a train or bus in Japan is always as quiet as being in a library. People read books, listen to music, text, work, fall asleep. But no one makes noise or bothers others. If you talk, it's very soft and quiet. As a country surrounded by the sea and with a temperate climate, Japanese cuisine is very diverse and rich. From traditional dishes like sushi and tea ceremonies to delicious and nutritious cakes made from rice flour, raw horsemeat is a popular dish in Japan. It is called basashi, sliced thinly and eaten raw. Japanese people have a hobby of drinking coffee. Japan's total coffee imports are equal to about 85% of Jamaica's coffee output. In Japan, people consider making noises when eating noodles to show enjoyment and indirectly compliment the cook. Tsukiji is the largest fish market in Tokyo and about 2,000 tons of sea fish are consumed every day. Whale meat is not a specialty in Japan, but they are still hunted for research purposes. To become a professional fugu chef, you must undergo 11 years of training. You must eat fish dishes prepared by yourself throughout the training process, if you want to pass the training course. Japanese people attach great importance to communication. This is a characteristic of Japanese culture. They often bow their heads to greet each other when meeting, and depending on status and age, greetings are also expressed differently. And another custom is to exchange business cards when meeting or after each introduction. The postcard is printed with clear information, not handwritten. When receiving a postcard, you should raise both hands to show politeness. That is just one of many unwritten principles that are the foundation of Japanese cultural life. Japan is a country with strict and very strict laws. A high conviction rate of 99%, and Japanese prisons always operate at a capacity of over 117%. Japan is a country that you can travel to at any time, especially if you love the cool, fresh climate along with the simple and elegant beauty in architecture and culture. Below are the most beautiful Japanese tourist attractions that you cannot miss in the collection of must-check-in places when visiting the land of the rising sun. First, Mount Fuji, covered with white snow all year round, is one of the constant symbols of Japan. If you don't know the color, smell and sparkle of white snow, you can go to Mount Fuji at any time of the year. Mount Fuji is considered one of the tourist destinations in Japan that you definitely cannot miss. At Mount Fuji, you can ski, make snowmen, walk on snowy roads and freely take beautiful photos. On Mount Fuji, many famous ski resorts, luxury resorts and traditional Japanese houses are waiting for you to relax. Tokyo Tower attracts thousands of Japanese tourists. Did you know, this is one of the few prime locations, allowing you to have a panoramic view of the gorgeous city of Tokyo when the city lights up. The feeling of being overwhelmed and surprised by a colorful picture of flashing lights, reflecting prosperity and modernity. With a height of 333 meters, 13 meters higher than the Eiffel Tower, Tokyo Tower was inspired by the Eiffel Tower itself as the tallest self-supporting steel structure in the world. This place is open for you to visit from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Kinkaku-ji Temple in Kyoto, famous in the ancient capital of Kyoto, and surrounded by deep, cool green nature, Kinkaku-ji Temple in Kyoto is an extremely famous architectural work. This golden temple has the floors have three different architectural and cultural styles including Shindan, Bukal and Chinese. In front there is a regulated lake. The surrounding climate is fresh and cool. Horyuji Buddhist Architectural Complex, Horyuji Temple located in Nara Province, also known as Phap Long Temple, is one of the oldest wooden structures in the world that Buddhist followers wish to admire and feel sacred atmosphere here. Some of the following architectural highlights that you cannot miss include Kim Duong Tower, Ngu Trung Tower, Central Gate and corridors. Certainly, the temple's architecture will not disappoint you. The highlight of Horyuji Temple is the beautiful 11-faced Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara statue and more than 100 artifacts of unique artistic value. Despite being built more than 13 centuries ago and experiencing many devastating earthquakes, Horyuji Temple still retains its artistic value and has always been a solid spiritual fulcrum of Buddhist followers. Ancient Himeji Castle is an extremely interesting Japanese tourist destination that you should definitely visit if you have the opportunity to go to Himeji City in Hyogo Province. The castle is made from more than 36 tons of wood and covered with white plaster like crane wings flying in the vast sky. Shirakawa-go Ancient Village is located at the foot of Haku-san Mountain, Gifu Province, central Japan, and was recognized by UNESCO as a World Cultural Heritage in 1995. The peaceful, poetic and simple countryside scene in Shirakawa Ancient Village Go is a gift that Japanese tourism brings to tourists. Getting lost in this village, you will feel like you are lost in a sweet fairy tale world. Itsukushima Shrine, also known as Itsukushima Shrine. Itsukushima Shrine is one of the most beautiful symbols of Japanese artistic and spiritual value. Famous for its red torii gate submerged in water on all four sides, with the Misan mountain range in the distance, this painting is one of the most beautiful scenes, imbued with Japanese character. And that is also the ending point in the story. Today I'm back in Japan, the land of the rising sun. Thank you for your interest in watching. If you find it interesting, don't forget to press the subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell and share. Now it's time to say goodbye.